Hi and welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be talking about sentimental clutter, which is something that I've recently had a pretty big run-in with. Last week someone very close to me passed away and I had to go into their home and pick out things that I wanted to keep or my family might want, that kind of a thing. And this was very difficult. What could have really easily gotten out of control, and I just ended up with all this stuff that I didn't know what to do with, but I felt guilty keeping. I thought, you know what? I need to realize what is the situation and how am I going to deal with it in a calm and rational way rather than just from an emotional standpoint. So what I've come up with is 5 ways that I have dealt with sentimental clutter. So one of the things that I found really important when I was dealing with this stuff from this person that was really close to me was give myself time to grieve before I go into the home and try and deal with all of these things, these possessions. And I know a lot of people don't have time to do that. I was able to have about 4 or 5 days before I needed to do anything, which seems like a really short period of time, but trust me, going in, right after something happens is really difficult because you're that much more emotional and that much less likely to make good decisions. My second tip is go into the situation knowing that everything that is in there is just stuff. Now I know right here it might be something like your great-great-grandmother's china, but no one ever uses it to eat on, and it's just been in the family for a long time, and that kind of thing. That can be so hard. And that's something I had to remind myself over and over again. It is stuff, not the person, and getting rid of the stuff is not going to erase the memory of that person. My third tip is go into the space, in my case it was a house, with a finite box or bin or space or container of some kind where you're okay if it gets full of stuff, but once it gets full, that's it. Okay, there's no more that can come with you. So that really worked well for me because it made me be more choosy about what I wanted and made me really think about the things that I would use or were really important to me. And I ended up leaving with actually less than I thought that I might leave with because I was so focused on, okay, I only have this bin to fill up and after that, that's it. There's nothing. And it made me really be choosy, and I'm really glad in retrospect that I did that. My fourth tip is go into the space sort of like how you go into a buffet, which is you don't just grab a plate and start scooping things onto your plate before you've had a look around. You don't want to go into a room and just start piling things in because before you know it, you'll be in the second room and you won't have any more space left in your container. So what I did was I went in and I looked around to see what was important to me. I laid things out on tables, I pulled things out of drawers, and I really had a good look around before I decided, okay, some of this is important to me, some of this not so much, this I don't even recognize. And my fifth and final tip, and this one's really important, is when going through things, try really hard to imagine the roles switched. I know that, if something were to happen to me, I certainly wouldn't want my family going into my closet and thinking, oh, we have to hold on to, her sweaters and her pants and that kind of a thing just because they were hers. I would think, guys, get rid of it. Donate it to someone who could really wear these things and appreciate them. Same thing with, I use the example of, great-grandmother's china. Would your great-grandmother really think you have to hold on to this simply because it reminds you of me? Or would your great-grandmother want you to use the dishes or provide them to someone who really could use them, who really needs dishes? Because ultimately it boils down to they're just dishes. So anyone that's going through this, I really understand. I know how tough it is. The reason this video is coming out right now is because I'm literally living it, and I am so grateful for my journey into minimalism coming around so soon, before I go through this really tough part of life, because it really helped me focus on what mattered to me and focus on grieving for my loved one, being with my family, and understanding that stuff is just stuff. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a lovely day, and I'll see you in my next video.